everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Titans Return review for you today. This is Autobot Sovereign and Alpha Trion. So this is kind of a maroon and purple aircraft carrier lion type guy. I don't really remember Alpha Trion being either of those. In the original G1 cartoon, Alpha Trion really never transformed, I don't think. He kind of just was like a older looking Autobot. He had some facial hair, kind of like the mustache. He's rocking a pretty awesome mustache, I gotta say. And he had like a cape, but he never really transformed. So I'm wondering if this toy is a pre-mold of somebody, and I'm kind of wondering who it would be, just because with the lion in this kind of aircraft carrier, flying platform type of other alt mode, I don't really know what it would be for. Now, in Japan, they have repainted this as Lio Convoy because he was a lion in Beast Wars 2. So I can see that, and that repaint does look nice. But again, this mode doesn't really make sense, so they just did the best they could with it. But I'm wondering, I'll be very interested to see if we get this as somebody else going forward. But here you can see the other size classes for Wave 2. Everyone else we've seen. Still haven't been able to find Soundwave in my area. I think the problem is I just have so many Skywarps left over from Combiner Wars that stores are not ordering leader class figures. And I'm really hoping they don't just... I mean, eventually Wave 3 will have 6-shot, I believe. And I'm very excited for that as well. But I do want to get Soundwave if I can find them. Anyway, taking a look here at the top. Read the little bio for Alpha Trion real quick. So it's the same sentence it always has. This is Autobot Sovereign carries the energy of Primus, the creator, giving Alpha Trion unknown and immeasurable power. That's kind of cool. A little Primus reference there. But I like the design of the head sculpt. I think that looks awesome. The color scheme is nice here. 2 different modes. So without further ado, we will get Alpha Trion out of his packaging, and we will take a closer look. Alright, so here is Alpha Trion out of the box. And I have to say, the first thing that really strikes me is the color scheme. I actually kind of really like it a lot. The maroon and the purple with kind of the silver and dark grayish black accents. I don't know, it just kind of works for me. Real quick, the little card that he comes with. Some nice artwork there. Checking out the back. He is just whoop all the way to the end in every stat. He should be like a Transformer god. But I guess he technically is because he gets his power from Primus. So that's crazy. But nice card. Solid cardboard there. So yeah, getting back to the figure here, I like the accessories that he comes with. I really like this sword. It's primarily translucent orange, but it's got kind of a nice purple painted hilt. Some really nice detail there. I like that a lot. Very cool sword. Then he's got this, whoops, falling over. He's got this kind of generic little gun where Titan Master can sit in there. Not bad. Taking a look at the figure himself. Again, I really like the color scheme. He doesn't have a whole lot of kibble, which I appreciate. He doesn't really have any heels, which you can already see is kind of a problem. I wish there was something like maybe something in here could fold out and just form a little bit of a heel. Just because he falls over. He's a little back heavy, not terribly. And if you pose him right, he gets better. But it's just a little bit of an annoying factor there that he falls over a little bit. But overall, I really like just the overall design and color scheme. The head can swivel from side to side, very similar to Astro Train and Sentinel Prime, where it kind of has that whole piece that swivels from side to side. You have up and down here in the shoulder, as well as in and out here in the shoulder and up inside there. And you have a swivel right above the elbow, and then you have not, I guess, pretty much 90 degrees. Yeah, a little bit over 90 degrees actually for the elbow swivel. The hand can also rotate and needs to for the transformation. Not really any waist side to side articulation. You can kind of move it around as part of the transformation, but that doesn't really make sense to do in robot mode. Ball joint, well, not really a ball joint, but a really tight back and forth. And you can move this skirt out of the way a little bit, but this peg kind of gets in the way. So like I said, if you'd have to open this up, and you can move the skirt and then kind of put it back to get all the way. It's really tight joint in the waist, but it's looser out to the side. So you can go front to back for both legs. Then you have a thigh swivel, 90 degrees pretty much in the knee, and then you have some movement down here in the ankle, but that's mostly for the transformation. So, kind of putting him back together. He looks good, decent amount of articulation. Like I said, main problem in robot mode, in my opinion, is the lack of heels. Would have liked that, but if you position him right, it's not a problem. You just have to kind of distribute his weight evenly. But yeah, I like him. These two pieces can go back in. I'm going to go ahead and pull the Titan Master out, and then you can push these all the way in, and they'll click in, and then you deploy him by pushing the orb here on his chest. You can see those pop back out. So taking a closer look here at the Titan Master, I really like this face sculpt a lot. I love the mustache and the goatee he's got going on there. I love the crest on his head. The eyes are nice. If I had to nitpick anything, maybe paint the eyes kind of a gold or a yellow or something just to make them stand out a little bit, or maybe a light metallic blue or something. But overall, looks pretty good. Transforming him, decent amount of color. Not really any paint on the face, which would be nice, but I understand when they're this small, it's hard to show any detail. But I appreciate the purple and the gray and the maroon. It's got a lot of color going on here instead of just being one solid color. Arms are on the same kind of ball joint that all the others have. We'll kind of go out to the side a little bit. But yeah, overall, pretty nice Titan Master. I like him a lot. And then just to showcase, while I have it here, he can sit in here very easily. Any Titan Master can. So it looks pretty good. So pretty solid accessories, pretty solid robot mode like the Titan Master. So far so good. Really like the color scheme. But let's go ahead and we'll get on to transformation into the lion mode. Alright, so fairly simplistic here. You're going to kind of position the arms around and rotate the hands so that this folds up, and that kind of forms obviously one half of your lion head. It's kind of funny how the hip joints are very tight front to back, but they're kind of loose a little bit out to the side. In any case, do the same thing with the lion head on this side, where you kind of have your two heads of your lion here. Now I will say, this little piece here with the front lion feet, it's just, like if you would leave them like that, you'd have no problem and they wouldn't move at all. They're very solid. It's just the way the joint is. I guess it's not meant to click all the way, that when you push it all the way up, which aesthetically looks the best, it kind of is trying to pop it off of the, because it's just kind of like two tabs on the side of a connector here, and it can pop off fairly easily like that, and it just pops right back on. That's no big deal. Oops, I popped it in upside down. So just be aware of that. It's very easy. Like I said, it's just that when you put it all the way up, which aesthetically looks the best, it just is trying to pop it off. If you would leave it one out like this, you'd have no problem with it, but it doesn't look the best. In any case, coming back to the transformation, you're going to push these in. Now, these will most likely pop out again while you're transforming. It just happens. You're going to rotate this canopy piece up and over, and that'll, even if they kind of come loose, that'll keep them in there. And then you can rotate this out. You can see it has a double hinge here and here, and then you're just going to fold this in like this. And it's kind of tight only because this joint here, and I'll get a little bit closer. This joint here has to fit like on the other side of this joint for the canopy section. So you kind of have to get it in there, and like I said, it can be a little tight. It works when you're all done, but you're just gonna have to finagle it. And then you're gonna sandwich the two heads of or pieces of the lion head together, which is pretty apparent. So there you go. Now you have your lion head on his back. You're going to rotate this whole section down like I showed earlier, and then you're going to bring these lion feet down, and then they're just going to fold out and become the front legs very simply. Now this part's kind of tricky. I think it'll get easier the more times you do it, but you can see there's two peg holes right here and here, and you can see there's two pegs right here and here. So I'm going to have to get that up there and then peg that in, which can be a little tricky to do just because it's kind of tight. But yeah, see, that's the second time I did it, and that went in much easier than the first time I did it. And then you're just going to rotate these kind of down at the knee. This piece will rotate around. You can see there's a tab here, and that'll go to that tab hole there. You're just kind of hiding the robot feet and turning them into haunches for the lion. Now the problem is, by doing this, it kind of limits the posability of the back legs, which isn't a huge problem because it's just the back of lion's haunches, but it almost makes it so you kind of have to bring it down a little bit to get it to do it. And then you can just bring these feet down on both sides. And that's going to be your back lion feet. So you pretty much have the lion mode here. You can bring in the sword. And this little ridge right here that my finger's on will peg in to this slot here on the bottom of the kind of front skirt. Just like that. And that kind of forms the lion tail. So not a bad little lion mode. I personally think it's the better of the two modes. You can open up the canopy, of course, and fit your Titan Master inside. Very simply, just like that. Boom. So yeah, I like this. I kind of wish you could do more with the lion legs so you could get more of a pose than this. Maybe kind of like a stalking pose, or... I mean, I guess technically you can kind of move these back and you can get a little bit something like that, but maybe just a little bit more articulation. You can do a swivel here so you can turn these from side to side. They can move like that. And then down here, you can spin. So, I mean, there's some articulation. You can tell they tried to do something. The back legs, though, again, you can move this piece a little bit, but that's kind of it for the legs. Oh, I see. Okay. Mm. Yeah. Everything's starting to come unhooked. Those back legs are just really tight. I'm just trying to investigate the hip joints a little bit more just to see if I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think I am. So there, unfortunately, there's not really a good place to peg this. If you'd like to, you can peg it right here, kind of on the side of the back leg. And that kind of looks neat. But then a Titan Master can't really ride in there. I kind of wish there was somewhere like, maybe just like here. Like, I mean, you can kind of rest it there. I guess you can technically, because there's these two slots here, you can put them on the top of the canopy like this. So you can do that, but then it kind of makes it hard to get the guy out of the canopy. But if he's already in there and you just want a second guy to ride on top, that is an option. But we'll go ahead and we'll check out the next mode. So I've partially transformed him back to robot mode here, because it's easier to get to the aircraft carrier, or what I'm calling the aircraft carrier mode, from this mode. You can see I've left the arms transformed into the heads of the lion, and then you're going to bring this joint and bend it the other way, And you can see there's a tab right here, and that's going to peg in right there. So then this will just go flat against the sides. There we go. So you have that pegged in like that. Then you're going to turn them like this, straighten out the legs, and then just fold them in towards each other and straighten out the feet. And then you're going to peg them together, just like that. And then this part, these two tabs, you're going to need to see the little tab right there. That's going to peg into the side right there. It's a little difficult to do. It doesn't always want to hold together 100%. Oh, alright. Well, now you can kind of see. Sometimes it wants to kick back out. But so that's kind of it for the aircraft carrier mode. You can fold out a little wing right there just so that it can stand up. I don't know. This mode kind of seems tacked on to me. It's not terrible, honestly. You can go ahead and peg this in to the top here. And then you can have another Titan Master ride in there as well as in there. You can see this spot here on the side. You can peg the sword in. So, I mean, it's not the worst. It definitely reminds me of an aircraft carrier, and I think it looks alright. But it's, I don't know. It's not my favorite. I definitely think the Lion is the stronger of the two. It kind of reminds me of, like, Galvatron, where I think the cannon mode is the stronger of the two, but the jet mode is alright. You know, it's an extra mode. You know, not really terrible, not really great, just kind of okay. So, but yeah, I mean, it works. Not bad. Ultimately, I like Alpha Trion. He's a fun figure. He's definitely not perfect. He's got a couple things. Some joints are a little too loose. Other joints are too tight. I really wish he had heels so he wouldn't fall over as much. But I really do like the color scheme. I really like the robot mode, and I love the head sculpt and face design of the Titan Master itself. I like the accessories that he comes with. I think the Lion mode is probably the stronger of the two, but there's nothing especially wrong with the aircraft carrier mode. It just kind of feels tacked on the end. But I like it. I mean, for the most part, I definitely think it's a fun figure. It's certainly probably not the best Voyager we've gotten so far, and I'd be very interested to see what they reuse it as later on down the line. So I would say, you know, if you don't love it, you know, maybe wait for a sale or wait and see what they reuse the mold as, because it might be a much better character later on down the line. But for the most part, I think he's fun. I definitely think if you could find him a little cheaper than normal retail, he's worth the pickup. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Transformers Titans Return, Alpha Trion, Voyager class. And thank you guys as always so much for watching.